going, everybody? I'm Sean from Blue Pizza Reviews, and welcome to my review of Captain America Civil War. Now, Captain America Civil War is the third Captain America movie and the first film in the third stage of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So this film follows Captain America, once again played by Chris Evans, who is having to deal with the potential outcome that the Avengers might have to be watched over by the government. And if that ever is to happen, what would that mean for the Avengers in general? Now, Cap is of course opposed to this, while Tony, aka Iron Man, played by Robert Downey Jr., really supports the idea and thinks it's kind of needed. But that story kind of takes a sideline when we have to deal with Bucky, whoever he's played by, I don't remember off the top of my head, I'm sorry. And his crimes he has been committing. Now, I'm going to be honest here, after Batman v Superman, this was my next most anticipated film for the rest of the year. It was the biggest movie for the summer for me. So I heard that this movie blows Batman v Superman out of the water, and I was really interested in that because, as you guys know, I really enjoyed Batman v Superman. And I gotta say right now, this movie definitely did that. Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, while good, is nowhere near as good as Captain America Civil War. This movie is outstanding. So why don't we start off with those performances? Let's start off with Chris Evans. Now, I have really been liking Chris Evans ever since I saw him in the first Captain America movie. He definitely kind of hits that boyish wonder with a little twinkly smile. But here, they do more what they did in The Winter Soldier, which was give him a sense of, how do I say this, realism, so to speak. Which I really appreciate because he's not just winky in this movie. He stands by what he thinks is right, and he does that brilliantly here. And the same goes for Robert Downey Jr., who isn't just a wisecracking smart aleck in this movie, which I also really appreciated. There still is comedy in this movie, but it's not so much from these characters. It's from some of the other characters throughout the film later. Then we get to the team dynamics and the tag teams, and the returning cast members are really great, and it was great being able to see both Vision and Ant-Man in this movie. While I knew Scarlet Witch was going to be in it, she wasn't really my favorite part about Age of Ultron, but she was really good. And I like how they developed her more in this movie, but really it was Vision and Ant-Man's return that really got me the most excited. But let's move on all past that. Let's talk about the two newcomers. First one is Chadwick Boseman, who was Jackie Robinson in 42, and in this movie he plays as Black Panther. He's fantastic. He understands the character, what the character means, why he does what he does. It's brilliant. It's utterly fantastic, and I loved it. And now we come to the part I was the most excited about. Tom Holland as Spider-Man. Holy moly, he was amazing. This guy understood how to play the character of Peter Parker Spider-Man better than any other rendition I have seen prior to this in quite some time. I mean, he was so funny! Then move on to another aspect about this movie that I really loved, and that was the action. Now, this is of course an action movie, and if I had to find one spot to nitpick, just one, I'd put it here. The first action scene of the movie is kind of shot like this. So that gets a little distracting after a while. However, I still wanted to know what was going on, so I really can't nitpick it too bad, but I'm sick and tired of shaky cam that looks like... Yeah, anyway, moving on. But what the best part of this movie by far, what's truly the greatest part of this movie is that this film asks some very bold questions of these characters. How much do these characters really know each other? What's going to happen when the repercussions of the things that happen come back to hit them? And when they come back and hit, they hit hard. They don't softball anything. The moments of tension in this movie are legitimate points of tension, and they do not soften for even a moment. And I appreciate that, I admire that, and it's, in my eyes, fantastic. Now, the movie is not insanely dark, but it kind of goes somewhere right in between Captain America the First Avengers level of campiness and Captain America the Winter Soldier's level of intense brutality, so to speak. By which I mean strictly in content. And there are actually a couple of really emotional moments. There's one emotional moment that happens about, I want to say, half an hour into the movie that ties into the first two Captain America movies. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it already, but needless to say, it was really heartfelt. And what I also like about this movie is that this movie did something that I critiqued Batman v Superman for doing, and that was showing new characters without making them feel shoehorned into the plot for the sake of building up the next few movies. And again, this is coming from a guy who liked Batman v Superman. Though the biggest thing I can really say about Captain America Civil War is that it is a ton of fun. And what I appreciate about this movie is it's not just a fun movie. I mean, if it was just a fun movie, a complete blast of a film, I would still love it, and I'd probably still praise it, but it wouldn't have the same meaning, so to speak. So I really kind of appreciate that this film had the tenacity to try to go for something that was unique and was different from, the norm. And I really felt for that, and I definitely think it was brilliantly handled and very well deserved. Plus, this movie was very quick. I mean, I think this is the longest of the non-Avengers Marvel movies. Again, the one that wasn't the Avengers, clocking, I think, around just shy of 2.5 hours. Overall, this has definitely been a very disheveled review, but honestly, this movie is fantastic. It's one of my favorite movies of the year. After this, I'm very excited to see the rest of the summer movies. And I'm going all the way. I'm going to give Captain America Civil War an A+. How do you like that? My second A+. And we're just now starting the summer movie-going season. 2016 is off on a roll. So that's my take on Captain America Civil War. Now I want to hear from you guys. Have you seen this movie? And if so, let me know your thoughts down in the comments section. And by the way, my next review, which I'll be filming next, will be for The Fifth Wave. And don't worry, that regression review is coming. Until then, I'm Sean from Blue Pizza Reviews. Peace to all of you, and have a wonderful day. Now, in Captain America Civil War, we once again follow Captain America, who is again played by Chris Hemsworth. Not Hemsworth Evans! Follows Captain America once again. Sheesh. And I heard people have been telling me that this movie blows Batman v Superman out of the...